VYEPTI is a prescription medicine used for the preventive treatment of migraine in adults. Do not receive VYEPTI if you are allergic to eptinezumab-jjmr or any of the ingredients in VYEPTI. Please see the important safety information at the end of this video.
Hello, my name is Adriane and I'm a yoga instructor. Just like you, I also live with migraine, and I'm excited to share the short yoga practice that you can do to increase your sense of relaxation and decrease any shoulder or neck tension you may be experiencing. If this is your first time doing yoga or it's been a while, just take it at your own pace and always check with your doctor before starting anything new. You can start this practice on the floor or on a cushion or in a chair. Along the way, feel free to adjust the poses, add any more cushions or blankets. So let's begin. Find yourself in a comfortable position. You can sit on a cushion, a couple blankets, and just move yourself side to side, forward and back, until you're feeling settled. You can extend your crown of the head to the sky. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. And exhale, roll it back and down. You can let those eyes close or just pick one point ahead of you to gaze at. And taking a moment now to tune inward, becoming aware of what you're experiencing in this present moment. Noticing your physical body, if there's any areas that are talking to you, whether they're in pain or feeling tight, send those areas your compassion. And also notice any areas that feel relaxed and at ease. Observe your energy level, whether you're feeling slow today or more energized. And become aware of your mood. Is there a certain emotion or feeling you can identify right now? Welcome it all into your experience today. And then take a breath in through your nose and sigh it out the mouth. Breathe in through the nose and out the mouth. One more, inhale. And let it go. Allow those eyes to flutter back open and interlace your hands behind your head without putting a whole lot of pressure there, just letting your hands rest. And open the heart now. Inhale, lift the heart and chin slightly. And as you exhale, draw your elbows together. Inhale, lifting the heart, elbows wide. As you exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, open, lift. Exhale, round and contract. One more, inhale, lift. And exhale, round it in, elbows together. And come on back to center. Let your arms relax. And we'll move into side bends now. Take your arms out to a T, and then right hand reaches for the floor. Left arm up and over, making space in between the ribs. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, side bend to the other side now. Inhale, back to center. Exhale over. You can always take your hand to the back of the head for a little less intensity. Exhale over. Inhale, center. And this time, reach over. And with that top hand, lower it about waist height. So you're going to activate this nice stretch through the neck. Press with the fingers, reach. And you can turn your head down a few degrees, gazing towards the mat. And then to come out, reach with the left hand, take your right hand to the side, push your head back to center, and let's switch sides. Right arm reaches up, and And now lower that top hand about waist height. Press with the hand, reach with the fingers, feel that stretch through the side of the neck. And then gaze down towards the floor. Breathing side out anytime you'd like. And then reach on back. Take that left hand to help your head back to center. Let's move on to all fours for tabletop position now. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll begin with cat and cow. So for cat and cow, as you breathe in, you'll lift the heart, arching the spine slightly. And exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, lift through the upper back. Inhale, lift the heart. Tailbone lifts. Exhale, pull it in, contract. One more, inhale. Let the heart open. And exhale, draw it inward, lift through the upper back. And then come back to neutral and rock your weight back to the heels and center. So hips to heels, just to warm it up here. One more, hips to heels. And now this time, extend the left arm right alongside your left ear. And now as you breathe in, lift your arm up to the sky so you're opening your shoulder, and then hips to heels, hand back behind you. Let's sweep it through again, making giant circles with that left arm. If you'd like, you can gaze at that hand, getting a little more stretch through the neck. And come on back. Let's switch sides. Right arm extends along the ear. As you breathe in, reach for the sky, hips to heels, hands back, and come on through again. Inhale, reach, gazing at your hand if your neck feels good with it. One more big sweep up and through. And now we can rest in child's pose. So knees can widen a bit, big toes touch. Draw your hips to the heels, walk your hands out, forehead rests to the earth. Take a breath in through the nose, sigh it out the mouth. Feel the movement of the breath through the back body, noticing how your ribs expand as you breathe in, how they contract as you breathe out. And let's move on out, pressing your hands to the mat to slowly roll up. And once you're in seated, just give your head a moment to resettle, recalibrate. And we'll finally move on to our backs now, knees up. Your hands can be out to the sides like a T, and then feet on either side of the mat. So take those knees nice and wide. On your next exhale, draw the knees over to the right. Getting some stretch and mobility through the hips now. Inhale back to center. And exhale over to your left. Draw the knees back to center. And as you turn your knees to the right, you can gaze over your left shoulder and come into a nice twist. Inhale, take it back to center. Switch sides now. Knees left, look over the right shoulder. And breathe. Inhale, come back to center. And one at a time, extend your legs out wide. If it feels good, you can lower your arms down to your sides. Allow the eyes to close and let your whole body melt into the earth. Take a breath in through the nose. Sigh it out the mouth. One more inhale. Out the mouth, exhale. And let your whole body soften. Allow the muscles of the forehead to release, softening the muscles around the eyes. The teeth can part slightly, the tongue releasing away from the roof of the mouth. Allow the neck to soften and the shoulders to release. Release all effort and rest. Begin to deepen the breath now, wiggling your fingers and toes to wake up. Reach into a stretch if you'd like, lifting arms overhead. And then you can bend one knee at a time, rolling to the side. And then push up to a seated position. Let your head be the last to get into place here. And then take your hands together back at the heart. Allow those eyes to close once more. And tune back inside to how you're feeling after just a few minutes of yoga. Are there any changes you observe in your physical body? What's your energy level like now? Has your mood shifted at all? And to finish, connect to one thing that you are feeling grateful for today. Let that sense of gratitude brighten your spirit. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Adriane, I really enjoyed your practice today. Thank you. And I noticed that during the practice, a thought came up for me that I actually have been practicing yoga so long before I was even diagnosed with migraine. So when I did become diagnosed, I thought, wow, how lucky am I that I already had this practice as part of my life. And so I think that for people watching your practice today, that hopefully if they're just starting out, they'll realize that it's okay to start right here.
Yeah, and it was great to have you demonstrate in the chair too. Like you said, yoga can be done anywhere, whatever body, whatever shape, whatever pain level you're experiencing, you can always adjust it to make it work for you. It's so flexible and adaptable, and that's a one huge reason why I think yoga can be so helpful for migraine, is that there's so many practices to choose from, and those can be adjusted. You can use props, you can use pillows, but there's so much more than that. I mean, there's meditation, there's breath, there's just a way to help with that internal self-inquiry, which really is the heart of it, where you're coming to understand yourself better, your body, your mind, and the more aware you are, like you said, of what's going on when you're dealing with pain, the more choices you have to respond to it in a way that's helpful.
Oh, absolutely. I could completely identify with what you're saying about the many types of yoga, because when I was younger, even probably your age, I was doing way more intense practice. And when I was not able to do that any longer as I aged and my migraine attacks were more frequent, I realized that, this is really unfortunate, but I had to let go of that, and I had to realize that it's okay. So practicing compassion became a big part of my practice.
Just to piggyback off what you said, I think that sense of loss of what we used to be able to do is so common for those of us living with migraine, where, yeah, many of us used to be more physically active, and yoga for me was a way to kind of bridge that gap, to ease back into more physical activity in a way that felt sustainable, that felt nourishing for me, and that didn't trigger attacks. So some tips that have helped me in developing a yoga practice that's helpful for migraine is really to slow it down, that it's more of a work in, right, that rather than a workout, where that sense of calming your nervous system is really the highest priority. Often we have this all or nothing thinking, like either we used to do, what we used to do and ran a marathon and now we can't do anything. Like there are some gray area in between where I feel like there's always something that you can do, whether that's take 30 seconds to just sit and breathe and observe your breath. And I find that to be the most effective, where you're taking these small breaks, little movement snacks or breath breaks, so that you're releasing tension throughout the day. Has yoga helped you with anything else besides migraine?
I would say it's helped me with everything. It's interesting what you said before about taking little snacks or breaks. That has really helped me. I use this practice called CARE, C-A-R-E, which is an acronym for check-in, allow what's happening in this moment, respond with whatever loving kindness. If it's, if it's a migraine attack, then go get your whatever you need. And really starting to embody that practice. One of the tips I want to share is that yoga also doesn't have to be, like you said, such a strong, vigorous asana practice. And starting where you are, whether it's in a bed or a chair, whatever it is, it's okay. Starting where you are doesn't mean staying where you are. And so just getting started with 5 minutes. Something that I always do is I try to pause. I'm at my desk all day like this, and we're all on the computer or working from home. And so I notice that by the time it's lunchtime, my shoulders are hiked up to my ears. And so just relaxing and taking a few mindful sighs. And really what yoga did was take me into a meditation practice.
That is definitely one of my go-to practices, along with, just a lot of neck and shoulder practices, like you said, and just stretching throughout the day, releasing our neck. This, just so quickly builds up with anxiety, with the way, we work at the computer, and that's one of my go-tos as well. And then just, if I'm feeling maybe in that prodrome stage, the migraine attack's coming on, or I'm getting just fatigued, I love restorative poses, like getting my bolsters out, like coming into a supported child's pose. I really enjoy things where my forehead's resting on something. I find that very soothing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Shirley, it's just been so great to talk with you about yoga and practice with you. And
thank you, Adriane. You too. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Please listen as we share important safety information about VYEPTI. Approved use. VYEPTI is a prescription medicine used for the preventive treatment of migraine in adults. Important safety information. Do not receive VYEPTI if you have a known allergy to eptinezumab-jjmr or its ingredients. VYEPTI may cause serious side effects such as allergic reactions. Call your healthcare provider or get emergency medical help right away if you have any symptoms of an allergic reaction. Rash, swelling of your face, lips, tongue, or throat. If you have trouble breathing, hives, or redness in your face. High blood pressure. High blood pressure or worsening of high blood pressure can happen after receiving VYEPTI. Contact your healthcare provider if you have an increase in blood pressure. Raynaud's phenomenon, a type of circulation problem. Raynaud's phenomenon can worsen or happen after receiving VYEPTI. Contact your healthcare provider if you have symptoms such as your fingers or toes feeling numb, cool, or painful, or changing color from pale to blue to red. Before starting VYEPTI, tell your healthcare provider about all your medical conditions, including if you have high blood pressure, circulation problems in your fingers and toes, are pregnant or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding or plan to breastfeed. Tell your healthcare provider about all the medicines you take, including any prescription and over-the-counter medicines, vitamins, or herbal supplements. The most common side effects of VYEPTI include stuffy nose and scratchy throat, and allergic reactions. These are not all the possible side effects of VYEPTI. Tell your healthcare provider if you have any side effect that bothers you or that does not go away. You are encouraged to report negative side effects of prescription drugs to the FDA. Visit www.fda.gov/medwatch or call 1-800-FDA-1088. For more information, please see the prescribing information and patient information on VYEPTI.com.